It gives me joy to introduce our next speaker, Mr. Alan Carvalho, who will be speaking to us on another interesting topic, better the best. Mr. Carvalho had a long stint with a leading media group at Bangalore, spanning for 34 years. He began his career as a trainer in the HR function and moved on to head the HR department at Bangalore. Thereafter, he assumed charge as the profit center head at the printing division as general manager. He is now designated as whole-time director at Fourth Estate Limited, a company entrusted with the printing of the Times Group publications at Bangalore, Hyderabad, Chennai, and Thiruvananthapuram. He is a much sought out behavioral trainer and is often invited to deliver guest lectures and conduct training programs at leading management institutions, companies, colleges, and schools. His training inputs during his visits to Japan and UAE were very much appreciated by the audience. The unique nature of his training program is that they are original, with the design, content, and delivery being based on his long years of managerial experience. What more, Mr. Carvalho is also an accomplished musician who plays the keyboard and the guitar. Over to you, Mr. Carvalho.
Thanks very much. Let me share my screen.
Sure.
So good morning to you all. I, in fact, feel very humbled to be present amongst you all, educators par excellence. In fact, I wish to salute each and every one of you for having recreated yourselves, especially since the onset of this pandemic. I must add that it is your ability to re-engineer yourself to meet the change requirements that has kept the wheels of imparting the education actually rolling in spite of many challenges. On behalf of all parents like myself, sincere thanks once again to each one of you. I am also grateful to IIEM for providing me this opportunity to share my thoughts with you all this morning. So I feel we must now proceed with the session. I think we have started a little late after the quiz, but anyway, here we are. I would request each and every one of you now to relax yourself, a little bit of a thing, and then wear a broad smile. I'm sure you are feeling and looking better, isn't it? Yeah. You would have all noticed the very attractive boats on your screens. Can you come on the chat mode and let me know how do they look? How are they looking? Colorful, colorful, Jyoti, colorful, yeah. They're beautiful, aren't they? Yeah. Yes, like the spark, flowerish, bright and beautiful. Wow. Yeah, wow, thanks so much, thank you. They're very beautiful boats. I'm sure they're beckoning to each one of us. You would have also noticed, if you watched closely, that the design, the seating design, I mean, has ensured the mandated distancing too, especially during this pandemic times, isn't it? So what are we really waiting for? I would invite each and every one of you to come along, keep your distancing, social distancing, which we are used to now, and let's board these boats without crowding. Can you do that? Yeah. So off we go. And please remember, during this journey of ours, you will have to make it a point to actually enjoy your ride. Okay. Hope you're all feeling the way I am feeling. Are you experiencing the warmth of the sun and the gentle breeze blowing into your face? Wow, what a beautiful Saturday morning, isn't it? Just feel the gush of air and the warmth of the sun as the boat keeps bobbing up and down. Yeah. I hope everybody's comfortable and wearing your smile and being very cheery this Saturday morning. As we undertake this journey, let us begin our discussion on this Saturday morning. I'm keen to ask you all, have any of you thought, what is life outside your school campus? In other words, do you make it a point to correlate the outside reality to the academics that you are imparting? Yes, no, partially. What is your answer? Do you correlate this? Yeah. Yes, 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 you're correlating. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Yeah, lovely. So I think we will need to bear this in mind that whatever the teaching is being taught in the class or the experiences that you're sharing with your students should all be correlated to the life outside, or in other words, should be tied to visualizing the outside reality itself. Let me give you a small example from my early years, then you will understand the point I'm trying to make. You know, I studied in a convent school, no complaints. That was pretty small at that time. We just had about 35 students, and 25 of them were girls, and we're just the 10 of us boys. Everyone knew each other. It gave us all a feeling of great comfort, and we felt very, very sheltered. So the world for me at that time was my school and my home, as will be the situation for most of your students, I'm sure. Thereon, I went on to a large high school and was completely overwhelmed. I must tell you, I was completely overwhelmed. We had 70 students with 5 students having to share a fairly large desk and bench. In fact, due to my height, I'm pretty tall. Of course, you can't see me on how tall I am on the video. So because of my height, I was made to sit the last in the row. Okay. Even during the school assembly, I had to stand last. It actually felt like a kilometer was separating me from the principal, who would address us each morning. If you ponder for a moment, why did I feel the way I did? Any thoughts? Why did I feel the way I did? I told you I was completely overwhelmed. Anybody on the chat mode? Why did I feel so? Okay, let me give it to you. I was completely unprepared for life outside my campus. So as educators, since I come from an outside industry, my request basically is not to repeat this mistake with any of the other students. Therefore, this preliminary learnings at this stage for all of us is, while we prepare students academically, they should always have a visual and a connect with the reality outside of the studies or the world outside itself. With these thoughts and continuing to enjoy your ride, let's explore further. We have covered some ground now. Yeah. Fine. Yeah. So the topic, as was mentioned during the introduction, as well as the program schedule, it talks about better your best. Now, let me just put across to you all. As a child, I'm sure, take your mind back to your childhood. As a child, I'm sure you were taught, or should I say, programmed to put in your best. To put in your best in terms of your studies, sports, games, maybe NCC, dressing up, looking your best, etc., etc. As life went ahead, the same programming, in fact, continues to play a big role in our life. It has played a role while we were teenagers, early and present personal and professional life. I'm sure I'm right. So to summarize, I'm putting this across to you all. We are programmed, we We are all doing our best in everything. Hence, is there a need to better our best? Any thoughts on the chat mode? We are doing our best. We've been doing it for years together. Does it make any sense to attend this program on bettering our best? What do you think? Please come on the chat mode. Cocoon to feeling lonely. Okay, there is scope to improve. Karthika, feeling peace. Yeah, anybody else? Jia says, yes, there is always a scope for improvement. Okay, anybody else? Yeah, anybody? Okay, scope for improvisation, etc. I would want you to just take a closer look at what is on your screen. You see this guy or this man cycling. Are you watching him cycling? Yes, no? Chat mode. Is he cycling on your screen? Is he moving? Yeah, yes. If you were to look at him closely, what thoughts come into your mind? Is he putting in his best while he's cycling? Just think about it. Don't answer me. Okay. Or does it correlate to the program that I mentioned to you? You know, we have been programmed to give out our best. So this guy thinks that he's giving out his best. Why? Because there is a movement. There is a movement. He is moving forward. Right. So I think each of us should introspect immediately and see, are we moving our goalposts? What is it we are doing? We must be in a position to know that maybe we think we are doing our best, but I think there is a lot of scope. I'll explain to you a little more in detail. Let's park this thought. So I would like to start with something interesting to do. Please go back in time and remember the time when you woke up as a child and realized that it was your birthday. What did you do? You woke up. It was your birthday as a child. What did you do? Chat mode, please. Yeah, anybody on the chat mode? Let it be interactive. Okay, back in good old days. So what did you wait? You waited for the gift. Yeah, Tendari. Lovely. You're getting it. Excited for the entire day. Visit to the temple, distribute chocolate. Yeah, jumped on the bed, feeling excited, waiting for gifts, chocolates, etc., etc. I think you said it all. Thanks so much. It's wonderful that you are coming on the chat mode and helping me to take this forward. Wait for chocolates, distributing chocolates, gifts, etc., etc. I wish to put this across to you once again. You visualize your birthday as a child. Okay. Visualize your birthday now. How do you feel now? Just think about it. Okay. While you visualize your birthday now as a grown-up or in the present circumstances, would you want to share your thought now? Why not? Do you feel different? Or is it the same sort of excitement that you felt? Yeah, Sunita Srinivasulu, wonderful. No excitement. Okay. Anybody else? Same excitement. Okay. Not excited as before. Ghazala, yeah, yeah. Feel it, the people wishing, enjoying with my family and friends. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. So basically, if I have to rephrase this whole thing, we're just analyzing what happened when it was a birthday while you were a little child, and then now as grown-ups. You will definitely have found that there is a difference between the two. That is, if you're truthful enough. Please try and analyze why the difference. Are you the same person or not? Has your name changed? No. Please think deeply. Would it not be an extraordinary experience, or would it not feel so wonderful to wake up with the same level of excitement as that of your childhood memory of your birthday? Yes or no? Chat mode, please. Would you like to have that sort of an excitement? Yes, yes, yes. I'm sure it's going to be an overwhelming yes, yes. Wonderful. Okay. In other words, what I'm trying to really get at is we should be in a position to greet every single day with the same level of enthusiasm. Of course, I mean the adult version of it. Yeah. So with these thoughts, let us now quickly analyze the difference and what we can do about it. Okay. Yeah, the slide is transition. I'm sure you would have heard of this. There are basically two types of people in the world. One who know their purpose, and the other who are maybe still searching for their purpose. Okay. So purpose, I think for a forum like this, I would not, there's no need to really give the dictionary meaning of purpose. We all know that there is a purpose. Say, for instance, if you're attending this webinar today, you know what is your purpose of attending this webinar, right? What do we do after that? Should you stop short at purpose, or is there something more? Right? See, if you know your purpose, many times, people refer to them as, the enlightened ones, and, that maybe they have a lot of control in their life. That's what we keep on thinking. But if we are in a position, or if you're wanting to better ourselves, we should not stop short at purpose. Okay. Somebody is doing something on the screen. Please refrain from that. Yeah. So after purpose, I'm suggesting to bring in happiness, joy, or pleasure in whatever you do. So if you are able to move from, once you know your purpose, bringing in joy and pleasure, it will make it even more worth it. Okay. So in our attempt to better our best, the suggestion that I'm making is, I think we must be very clear about the purpose that we have, and we need to qualify it by bringing in joy and happiness into whatever we are doing. After that, what else is there? Let me give an example. If you are wanting to be fit, your purpose is, I want to be fit in life. Okay. Especially for those of us who are not into a regular bout of this fitness, when we try doing it, there's a lot of pain. Okay. There's a lot of sweat. So what we do is, many times we just give up. But if you qualify your purpose with the joy of doing it, saying that I know this is my purpose, but if I need to get over there, I'm going to find joy, pleasure, and happiness in whatever I'm doing, then entire scenario will change. Okay. Thereafter, to ensure that we are deeply rooted in this journey of ours, I want to introduce the word, which is nothing but passion. Okay. Purpose, pleasure, or joy, followed by passion. You may be wondering, what is this man talking about on this Saturday morning? Maybe some of you are smiling and maybe remembering the emotional state, that passion is usually associated with. In fact, we often hear this word when two individuals are settling down in life. And many times, we refer to quotes such as their passion engulfed them. They're passionately in love with each other, etc. However, in reality, very often passion is led to rest thereafter and is known to surface in a few individuals, like maybe sports persons, musicians, etc., after a period of time. Okay, the recently concluded Olympics can also be a great example of the medal winners having shown their grit, hard work, and determination to excel or sum it up. It is the passion in the chosen field that brought them the laurels. Okay. Similarly, I'm just putting across to all of you this Saturday morning, as in our earlier example of waking up on your birthday when you were a child, as compared to how you wake up now. Please bear in mind, the single most important requirement is to wake up, not just wake up, but wake up with a passion to do something. Okay? We need to program ourselves not just to wake up, but a passion to do something, a passion to achieve something, a passion to live, love, and laugh. Do you remember when you had the last hearty laugh? A passion to excel in the work you do, a passion to be the best, a passion to give out your best in everything that you do, etc., etc. So in terms of the importance of what I've just spoken to you the last few minutes, I would like to really put it for ease of understanding, or kind of christen this whole thing as the 3 Ps. And what does this 3 Ps stand for? Purpose, pleasure, and passion. Okay, so with these preliminary thoughts in our mind, I thought I should introduce you in the form of a video, a very engaging video presentation to see what passion is, what it does, and let's hear this from a kind of an expert view on this. So here we go. I hope it is audible. Yeah.
Companies today are under increasing performance pressure. It's coming from more and more powerful customers on one side, and on the other side, you have knowledge workers or creative talent who have much more visibility into options and more bargaining power and are getting more cash compensation for the services they provide to a company. And the company's caught in the middle. In that kind of environment of mounting performance pressure, we started to focus on where are there environments where you see sustained extreme performance improvement. We looked pretty far afield. We looked at everything from extreme sports to online video gaming, war game environments. And as we did the research, as we looked across these different fields, what struck us was one common element applied in all these
arenas, as diverse as they were, which is that all the participants in those arenas were deeply passionate about what they were doing. When we talk about passion, we're not talking about it in a generic sense. We're talking about a specific form that we call the passion of the explorer. The passion of the explorer, in our definition, has 3 attributes that come together. The first attribute is a long-term commitment to a specific domain, where you're committed not just to engaging in that domain, it could be a particular functional expertise or a market or industry. Your commitment is to make an increasing difference in that domain over time. The other 2 attributes are what we call dispositions. It's an orientation towards action when in a particular context. So one of those dispositions is a questing disposition. It's the notion that when you're confronted with a challenge, if you have a questing disposition, your immediate reaction is to get excited about it, to want to pursue it, to see it as an opportunity to get to that next level of performance. The second disposition is a connecting disposition. And what we're referring to here is the instinct or orientation when you're confronted with a challenge to actively reach out and connect to others who can help you address that challenge. That's a connecting disposition. Now these 3 attributes come together in a very powerful way and reinforce each other in the passion of the explorer. Now the bad news is that when we went out in our research and surveyed the US workforce, we found that only about 11% of workers in the US workforce have what we would describe as the passion of the explorer. So it's in very short supply. Almost 90% of the workforce doesn't have that kind of passion. And it's not too surprising because, in fact, we believe most companies today are organized in a way that makes them deeply suspect of this kind of passion. They want predictability, reliability, somebody who can follow instructions, and failure is not an option. Well, passionate people are unpredictable. They're constantly seeking out new challenges. And by the way, they're going to fail. They're not always going to succeed. And so it's not very predictable, and failure is an option. So the challenge for companies is, first of all, to realize that if they really want to drive performance improvement, extreme performance improvement, they need to nurture and cultivate this kind of passion. The good news is that when you pull apart these three attributes that constitute the passion of the explorer, at least 45% of the workforce has at least one of those elements. As an example, we have a certain type of employee that we call the mad scientist. A mad scientist has a very strong commitment to a domain and a questing disposition. What they're missing is that connecting disposition. And so there's an opportunity to think about redesigning the work environment so you can help those people more easily identify and connect with people, and hopefully over time cultivate that third element in the passion of the explorer. This is important not just for individual companies, but if you pull back to the economy, the level of the US economy, we're still dealing with issues of unemployment. Certainly things have improved since the bottom of the downturn, but we still have a lot of unemployment. And if we can cultivate within the workforce this passion of the explorer, it creates workers who are going to drive much more sustained extreme performance improvement. Companies are going to be much more reluctant to let those kinds of workers go. And on the other side of the equation, if people are out of work and can cultivate this passion, they become much more attractive to companies. And companies are going to be much more willing to hire somebody who displays this kind of passion because of its role in driving performance improvement. So we've summarized a lot of this perspective on the increasing importance of passion and its relationship to performance in a recent research report that we've published. It's available online at dupress.com, and I encourage you to go there because it's got a lot more detail around the work and the implications for companies as they try to address this issue.
So that's an expert view from Deloitte. So basically, what we are at this stage talking about is that in our pursuit to better ourselves, bringing in this aspect of passion in the way how we approach our life, passion in terms of whatever we do, going a little beyond with a lot of interest. This is going to be a defining moment for each one of us on this Saturday morning. Now you'll find a wow set of words on the screen, talking about passion, right? But how do we really get on to that? I would not want you all to conclude and say that, fine, yes, we heard about this. There has to be this question of, passion. So let me find my passion. I'm not asking the audience to find the passion. We need to bring that into everything that we do. So here is something we are going to now talk about. The process should ideally be of what I would refer as, self-discovery, addressing your roadblocks, prioritizing and creating specific actions that will help you move forward from the current ways of thinking, doing, to living a more aligned way of life. We discussed this, our childhood memory of our birthday, the joy and passion with which we woke up, and what is it we are doing now. So we need to bring in this kind of a realignment. In other words, what I'm suggesting is to create some space, for uncovering and adding what I would like to refer to as the spice of passion into our lives. How do we do this? Any thoughts? Spice of passion we need to add into our lives. So any thoughts? How do we do this? Yeah, due to paucity of time, I thought, let me give it out to you. We will need to declutter ourselves. Okay. Let us face this. Unlike the children, we as adults have cluttered our lives. Cluttered our lives with what? Emotional baggage, crammed schedules, and other physical stuff. All this, in fact, overwhelms us, and often we do not know where or even how to start. Hence, most of the time, what do? We do nothing, and everything remains the same with us in our lives. But I want that to change. If you're spending 1 hour today with these inputs, that has to change. Clearing the clutter of inner and outer life is so very important. It forces you to take an honest look at yourself and see how you have strayed from your pursued path of who you really are or want to be. I'm sure each of you had a kind of a vision of yourself. So take an honest look and see what has happened to you today. Are you able to recognize that person in yourself? Is there a difference? Okay, so in this decluttering activity, I'm now calling on each of you to begin by and remove the emotional clutter or decluttering emotionally. I'm sure in this forum, I don't really need to put too much into details, but then all of you would have experienced emotions many times. You know, there's some kind of a crazy feeling. You could feel perfectly fine until one morning you wake up to find as if a kind of a dark cloud is hovering over you, isn't it? This usually leads to a feeling of anxiety or maybe feeling annoyed, or most of the time just not feeling up to the mark to do anything. In fact, as most of you would know, it is perhaps normal to have occasional emotional disturbances. I think they're part of one's life, like maybe poor sleep, you feel stressed, hormonal changes, weather change in the weather, etc., etc. However, emotions that hang around for a while, impacting your ability to enjoy your life and function fully, need your attention. Especially when these come in the form of depression, anger, bitterness, fear, etc. And in case sometimes it tends to last over weeks or months, that really, really needs the cleaning up of our emotional self. This is so very important since the negative emotions tend to sabotage whatever efforts that you are making to bring passion into your life. In fact, the way to overcome emotional clutter that you see on the screen is, first of all, to be aware of it and work consciously to overcome it. In case you still get stuck, seeking professional help would be a good idea. There's nothing really to feel shy about. In fact, the emotional state of people, as you all would know, has become a major cause of concern since the onset of this ongoing pandemic. You are not able to interact with people the way you were to do earlier. I'm not able to interact with my audience like I used to do earlier in my programs. You are not able to go and meet your relatives, friends, etc., go out for dinner like the way we used to do, etc. So this emotional thing has become very much pronounced. And in fact, we are getting a lot of requests from people to run specifically designed programs, on how to overcome this emotional clutter or, decluttering oneself, etc., etc. Emotional cleanup through self-care with regular fitness regime, proper diet, etc., also tends to help you to stay focused and engage in activities. Next, the declutter that I can think of is lifestyle declutter. What we are discussing now is to create space in our minds and in ourselves to bring in this aspect of passion and another point that we'll be discussing shortly, so that we come to have a better grip of our life and we are definitely able to better ourselves. Okay, we should not move the goalpost, as I said earlier. We need to progress into bettering ourselves. What is lifestyle declutter or lifestyle clutter? This is nothing but bringing about changes, what I would like to refer to as our adrenaline-filled life. In fact, this is once again become even more pronounced as I think as human beings, we have come to believe that the more we schedule our lives, the more we can multitask. And perhaps a notion that the longer and harder we work, the more valuable we are to society. In fact, I'm here to tell everyone on this virtual platform, I think the earlier we realize that we are bringing about our own downfall through this, it is definitely the better. Besides the obvious health consequences that such a lifestyle brings in, it leaves no space for self-reflection, creative experimentation, and decision-making. I would request each and every one of you to please bear this in mind. What is the purpose of life? The purpose of life, as most of you will agree, is not to keep on producing stuff, but to live life fully and joyfully. The steps to simplifying your life begins with maybe at least an hour a week to devote to some kind of introspection. See what is it you're doing. What was your final goal? Keep on seeing, are you able to correlate to that person who you are deep within? What is the gap? And try to move on to that. Next, I'd like to quickly talk about physical clutter. It simply means accumulation of physical things. Once again, as human beings, we have, I think, somehow understood that for life to be complete, we need to accumulate a lot of things. Isn't it? Yeah. So accumulate a lot of things is something which we keep on thinking. So if you just take a look at our wardrobes, we must be having clothes, perhaps, which we may never use. Look at the shoe rack, maybe look at the bookshelves, etc., etc. Okay. So the point I'm really trying to make is that this emotional clutter, physical clutter, and lifestyle clutter, these are things which silently grow into us. And then it tends to block out what we can actually achieve. The type of joy, that each of us, you and I, can experience in life. Okay. Physical clutter also talks about, we would perhaps like to have a very big and expensive house, perhaps more than what we may ordinarily need. But the consequence is there would be more areas to be cleaned and maintained. Sometimes maybe we may like to have a fancy car, but it requires appropriate upkeep and perhaps always the lurking fear, we are always wondering where it is parked. Is it safe? Is anyone tampering with it? Etc., etc. Okay. So therefore, the earlier a realization really dawns on us, the better. That all these extra items in our life actually tend to create a kind of a mental agitation and distraction. In other words, an abundance of physical clutter actually drains our energy from focusing on our purpose and passion. The more of physical clutter that you're able to clear from your life, I'm sure more will be the time that is available for you to focus on more important aspects of your life. Okay. Should you do this decluttering of oneself, it will give you the much needed breathing space for self-discovery, exploration, and creative ideas to really engulf you. Okay. Wow. This is a time for what I would call as a virtual coffee or tea break. Okay. I'm sure you can feel or sense that aroma wafting through that cup. Beautiful, isn't it? While enjoying your coffee or the tea, please remember passion at work is an intense enthusiasm and excitement for whatever you do. And in fact, it is the difference between doing and getting it done. Okay. I hope everybody is comfortable and you are okay with whatever we have been discussing so far. Are you all there? Yes, yes. Okay. I hope things are going well. Please come on the chat mode, but not on mute.
Yes, sir.
Okay, okay, wonderful. So I think I have your permission to carry on. Next few points to discuss very quickly. I was a little concerned that we started a little late, so anyway, I'm trying to make it up for that. Okay, yeah, fine. Now I have something interesting, or I should say more interesting, or something which everybody, management gurus to experts to I think heads of institutions, governments, everybody is really talking about. So do you see this on the screen? Yes, something has come up on your screen. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. What are these children doing there? I know it's a stupid question, but can you just picture that? They're doing something there on screen. They're shading, drawing, group at work, collaborative drawing, Manjushri, wow. Coloring, yes. Yes, anybody else? It's a group activity, isn't it? Drawing, group work, coloring, Madhuri. Yeah, lovely. Yes, yes. So whatever you have said is perfectly right. Okay. I would just like to ask you now. You mentioned on the chat mode, you know, that children are coloring, they are doing group work, etc., etc. If you just look at the picture which is there is a boy who seems to have drawn something which looks like a bag. Can you see it on screen? Yeah. There is maybe something which looks like a school building, maybe a clock over there. Maybe you are seeing some pencils, crayons. What else are you seeing? A bulb. What else did you see? Related to school, yeah. Pencils, scissor, bag, computer, compass, calculator.
Gramophone is there, sir.
Gramophone, wonderful not to see gramophone in this era. Yeah, yeah. Yes, bell, scissors, etc., etc. Okay. See, now we are looking at trying to take charge of our lives, isn't it? So therefore, I have parked you on this thought, which is going to be yet another important aspect of our learning today. What I'm really talking about, do you have any idea? It is nothing but visualization. You know, that boy who has drawn that bag, did he suddenly come and just put it in the form of a bag? Or did that image or impression form in his mind? Any thoughts? He pursued that. He thought about it. He had an idea that, okay, this is the way the bag should look. This should be the color, etc. And then he went on to draw that. Am I right or wrong? On the chat mode, please. Virtual, this is how we have to run it. Yes, 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 yes. Correct. Yeah. So each one of them, somebody who drew that scissor, he thought that, you know, maybe it should have maybe a blue color there, and, you know, some other color there, maybe crayons are there, apple is there, yet to be colored, etc., etc. So each of them actually visualized what they wanted to actually produce. Now I'm asking you, with my hand on my heart, so to say, do you visualize what you want in life? Truthfully? Yes or no? There's nothing right and wrong. Not every time. No, Sunita, hats off to you. Kaushalya, no, sir. Perfect. Yeah, that is why we have met this morning. You know, our attempt is to better ourselves. So we said we need to bring in what? Not just the purpose of life, my dear friend, is just not the purpose of life. We have to qualify that purpose with joy, happiness, and enthusiasm, and top it off with passion, right? That will help us to move ahead in terms of bettering ourselves. Yeah. Now we are at the stage of even qualifying passion with something, where you need to visualize what is it you want. I'll give a quick example. Now we had this Olympics. Okay. Now, if you were to run a race, right? If you were to run a running race, 100-meter dash, what would you keep in your mind? Can you come on the chat mode, please? What would you keep in your mind? When nobody is running, huh? To reach first. Yeah. To reach first, gold medal, destination. Yeah. Do some of you think I must defeat the remaining people? Huh? No. Good. Good human beings. Okay. Enjoy the race. Win the race. Competitive finish. Okay. Good. Okay. Now, what happened? We had the gold medalist in the javelin throw. Okay. Now, there are, especially in Olympics, you will find that everybody is prepared well. Everyone wants to go for the gold. Everyone is doing that. But what is that one determinant that helps people to score or go above the others? Is nothing but their effort or art of visualizing. Their passion is what? The passion is to come first. Yes. To be fit enough to take on. But what is the next thing? If they stop short at that, I don't think they will be going the full race. Okay. They have to visualize what did our gold medalist visualize? Do you know? I'll mention to you. He visualized not the winning part of it. He visualized him standing on the podium and receiving that gold medal, and visualize the Indian national anthem being played and the Indian flag fluttering. You understand what I'm trying to get at? You need to go beyond what we've been doing so far in our lives. Okay. You want to run a race? I want to come first. Okay, boss, you come first. But now we need to begin to say, look at it beyond. If I come first, what is the next stage? I'm encouraging you to look at the next stage. If I look at that, I will ensure that my country's national anthem is played, maybe the first time in history, or maybe the fifth time, or whatever it can be. But we need to take that defining moment to keep on thinking further ahead in terms of visualizing what is it you want. Okay. Now, supposing you have been given an additional job to do in school. What do we say? Are yaar, why they have chosen me? Okay. Or some others will say, oh, they are the boss's favorite, etc., etc. Then, keeping that in mind, if you go to perform your job, how will the job be performed? Okay. Rather than that, if you look at it and say that, yes, I have been chosen because my boss or the person who is assigning this has great faith in my abilities and capabilities. Okay. And it is because of that, I will have to keep this as my level of motivation. I visualize the joy in the person who is assigning me this job. Things are going to completely change your perspective of life. Understand? Yeah. So please remember that, these are sessions, today, in fact, a lot of people are coming in, companies, all across the place, where they're wanting a lot of inputs, in terms of this passion, visualization, etc. But then today, with this time slot that we have, I think this is at best what I can just introduce this to you. I'm sorry, I couldn't go too deep into it. But then it can always be explored at some other point in time in case we get an opportunity. But what is most important is, please remember this, that we always talk about childlike innocence, okay? But childlike joy, childlike enthusiasm. I think each of us should program ourselves to that. And the only way we can do that is to qualify those 3 P's: purpose, okay, with pleasure or joy or happiness and passion, and top it off by visualization. I'm here to tell you, or please visualize and keep your mind on things what you want and not on what you don't want. If you want to enjoy life, if you want to have a good, healthy lifestyle, I'm asking you, have you visualized yourself that health is wealth? I'm happy, I'm joyful, I'm peaceful. Are we visualizing that? Or are we looking at the media, or are we looking at the neighbor, or we are looking at this, oh, this happened, it seems, oh, this one, somebody's health became like this, it seems, we need to eat this, or we need to avoid that, we just keep on into that, right? So what is going to happen to your visualization exercise? Understand? So therefore, to just reinforce this thing on visualization, I've just picked up a small little, very meaningful video. Please bear with me as I just play it out over here. Yeah. Enjoy this. Great, isn't it? Okay. Now, very quickly, having said and discussed whatever we have said, as we're coming to the almost to the close, I just want to ask you, what do you see on screen? Any evidence of the basketball missing the basket? No. Isn't it? Yeah. Would you say that because of practice it is perfect, or there is something else? Somebody has scratched the screen. I don't know where to do it. Anyway, that is not the original slide which you see with all the directions, etc. Anyway, let's manage it out. See, make sure to score on each attempt. See, in life, as we are nearing the conclusion, I just want to put this across to each one of you. Let us not be casual in our approach, whatever we are doing. Okay. Now, some of the examples of being casual. I'm not in the mood today. The weather is not bright enough. I did not sleep well. We'll do it tomorrow. What is the urgency? We keep on bringing this type of thoughts in our mind and slow down. And this is what something which tends to slow down the pace in which we can actually go in terms of getting nearer our goals. Okay. So that is something we need to ensure that we keep up to date. And in whatever careers that we are today, in fact, organizations are looking for people, not just with skill, they're trying to determine through various psychological tests, etc. What is the type of passion that someone has in their lives? So you should ask this question to yourself. How do you stay updated in your field? Okay. What is the big question you regularly try to solve? You need to walk the talk. How do you connect with professionals in your field? Think about it. Are you connecting with professionals in your field? Right? And what makes you excited about the role that you play in school or wherever you are? What is the most satisfying thing about your job? Right? How do you define success? What do you want to work? Why do you want to work for in this school? And what are the keys to success, etc., etc. Now, as you find that galloping on a trot is mandatory or an essential requirement. So, having heard me out this morning, perhaps it will give you an idea that, yeah, maybe I should try it out. But, today is a Saturday, right? So we as human beings tend to take it a little easy. And then, Sunday we are so busy with this and Monday we move on with whatever it is. And then perhaps we may forget it or keep on postponing it, right? But you should commit yourself not to give up. Why? Because hello guys. When we actually began this session, we talked about trying to be our best, isn't it? We want to be our best. But I'm saying it's an exciting world out there, as you see that picture over there. Okay. And I would want or request each and every one of you who is connected on this platform to take charge of your life. I always say, or rather it is my quote, we have one life. Okay. Please also remember, it is you and you alone who is in charge of your life. In other words, do not let someone else run your life for you. A sure way to really do this is not to better your best, but progress to being the best in whatever you do. You are teaching, you are administering, you are cooking, you are whatever you are doing, you need to ensure that you move on to being the best. So at this time, I would like to once again, as you see that board bobbing up and down on your screens, thank you for making time to join me on this journey this morning. And I sincerely hope this is the first time I'm connected on a platform with IEM. I sincerely hope that you enjoyed the time that we have spent together, and hope the learnings were useful to you all. Just like the way I'm feeling, the journey down there is kind of slowing down, and in fact, it is signaling that we have almost reached our destination. So as you deboard, take care, don't fall into the water. careful, right? And in conclusion, I once again take this opportunity to ignite and invigorate each and every one of you, not only to better your best, but in fact, to be the best in all that you do, right? We began our journey in terms of, there it is, progress to being the best, right? And all the very best. And thanks once again to IIEM. That's it from me. Any
Thank you,
thoughts,
sir.
any questions? I don't know if there's any time. In case you have anything, else we can move on. Yeah, fine.
Thank you, sir. Thank you for that wonderful, thoughtful, and interesting session. Participants, if you do have any questions, sir, if you can provide your email ID, they can get in touch with you where it will
Sure.
benefit them.
Yeah,
And you can put it in your chat box, sir. Thank you so much.
yeah,
Thank you,
Alan.
Alan, sir. I'm Sumati here from IEM. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Most welcome.
It was very helpful.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Moving ahead, participants, we will have Q-Shala with a quiz round. Over to you, Q-Shala.
Hello everyone, I'm Komal back again, and let's have a couple of more questions for engagement and learning about more trivia through questions, as Q-Shala is all about building curiosity through questions. I will be sharing 2 questions with you. All you have to do is share your answers on chat box directly to me, which is by the name Komal_Q-Shala. I request the host to please, ma'am, if you can change the settings for the participants to share their answers with me only, if that's possible. I'll be sharing the questions on screen. Please make sure that you give your best attempt and try to respond with your quirkiest guess as you can. The winners will be sure getting amazing prizes, and we'll get in touch with you. So here comes the first question on your screen, which says, this uniquely designed pillow is appropriately named as the Lacy. It is specially catered to people with certain occurrence that inevitably affects over 75% of all adults, especially the adults we are dealing with, currently our teachers. So you have to tell who are the target demographic for these pillow? Who are the people who usually get to use this pillow, or you can say, who are the demographic or the people this pillow is mostly benefited by? So think about the structure that you can see in picture. It is a pillow, and what does it caters to? Which people does it cater to? The hint I can give you is the people who have certain condition, who have certain occurrence that a gadget or an apparel that they usually wear, how it is helpful to them. I can say that it's mostly useful to teachers. Okay, I am getting a lot of responses. Requesting you all to please share the responses with me directly. Okay, all right. Can I request Pratima ma'am, Pratima Virvani, to please come off mute and share what do you think?
Yeah, hello, Pratima here. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am, go ahead.
Yeah, I was looking for this particular thing, and I happened to visit at Amazon just 2 days back. I was looking for
Abhisam, can you please mute yourself? Thank you.
Some noise. I'm sorry. Should I?
Please go ahead.
Yeah, thanks, Priya. I was actually looking for this product to support my neck and head after my brain injury. Like after an accident, I had some brain clot and all, and I was not able to hold my neck. I was looking for such a product, and I happened to see this, and here you are with this question. So I was like super excited.
Okay, ma'am. I want to know, like, why do you think, what is this product mainly used for?
It would be supporting my neck and my head and my shoulders, basically, and the spine eventually. This is my
Okay.
perception. I don't know. I was looking for this thing. So, and that very shape of these two things here, that two supports that semicircle thing. So that probably was the thing I thought would help me. And in my in my flights also, I could carry it. I would like something which is carryable, which I can take it along with me also when I'm going to school also. When I'm giving my lectures, online lectures, like very soon the schools are going to reopen and we have to be in our iLabs, internet labs, and be functional. So in between, I would need rest. So I don't know. You tell me if that's
Um,
right or not, Komal. Should I
Thank you so much, ma'am. I really love the enthusiasm with which you answered the question. Unfortunately, we are not able to get the right answer we were looking for, but I I'm very thankful for you to making an attempt.
tell you that I'm 62 years old?
Thank you so much, ma'am, for responding. And let's have another person to answer this question.
Thanks for giving me a chance.
Thank you, ma'am. Thank you so much. Can we have Achal Verma, ma'am, to share her response as well? Achal Verma, ma'am.
Hello, ma'am. This is
Hello.
Achal.
Hello,
Yeah,
ma'am.
I think this is used for people with glasses.
And what made you think so?
Actually, my daughter had glasses, and she was just struggling with the pillow once. And I said, if we could make a hole here in between, at least your glasses would fit, and you can see the TV by lying down. She said, Mama, must be something available. So let us find on net. We actually searched for it on the net, and we got this on Amazon. It is available, I guess.
Yes, it's incredibly amazing to see how your critical thinking led you to answer this question, which is people with spectacles. And for sure, I can see a lot of you are wearing specs. So this is something which is helpful for the people who have specs and who would want to have their specs even when they are laying on bed at night. And you are absolutely right, ma'am. Thank you so much for responding, and everyone who has responded to us on chat. I would also request Achal ma'am to please send us your phone number so that we can get in touch with you and process with your prizes. And this is another question that we have for you. You have something to share, ma'am? Go ahead.
No, I said thank you so much.
Thank you, ma'am. So the next question that we have will have certain images that are pointing towards some specific object or theme. So you have to make a connection of what is some specific thing that all these different images are pointing on to. And here's your question. Please put up your critical thinking hats on. You see 4 different images here, and you have to tell me what are these different images pointing on to. Make sure that you send your answers directly to me, which is by the name Komal_Q Shala. And let's see how many of you get to it and respond. As of now, I'm still waiting for answers. So the first picture says Achhe Din. The second picture has an image and a card picture, and then you see an animal, and then you again have up shape. I can't say that this is kind of a logo of certain brand. So probably that may help you to lead up to the answer. I have started to have certain answers which are kind of going towards the correct direction. I really love the enthusiasm again. And a couple of you have been able to crack the pictures clues as well. All right. So can I request, this is some very particular connect type of questions that we get to have in our family quizzes, and kids and adults love to crack these sort of questions. We call them as connect questions. Can I request Aditi Bandivat, ma'am, to please come off mute and share what do you think is the answer?
Yes, ma'am. I think these pictures are connected to biscuit brands like Crack Jack, Oreo, Tiger, and I think that one is Britannia.
Okay, what made you think it's Crack Jack? Because of crack in the image, and then you have Jack.
We have a Jack, and this image is of Oreo.
Okay, Oreo biscuits, you got it right. The third one is Tiger. And what about Achhe Din?
Achhe Din, I think it is Britannia.
How do you say
Ma'am, it is
action
good
in
day. I
English?
think it is good day. Sorry to interrupt, Annam here. Good day.
No
It
worries,
is-
ma'am. You're absolutely right. Yes, it's a good day. So these all are biscuits brand, and you are absolutely right. Give yourself a pat. Kudos to you. And both of you, ma'am, I request you both to please send in your phone number so that we again process your prizes. That's all about our engagement for today. Lovely to have engagement here. And please check us on the website. I'm sharing the links as well here with you all. Thank you so much. See you again.
Thank you, Komal. We have with us our supporters, Meritus AI Learning Experience. They are a Chennai-based startup incorporated in 2020. The company has 2 online portals to teach artificial intelligence and coding. Over to you, team.
Good afternoon, everyone. Am I audible?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Aishwarya. I am from Artificial Intelligence School of India. We offer specialized courses in artificial intelligence for kids at the starting from the age of grade 7 up to grade age 14 plus, that is grade 3 to grade 12. We offer tutor-led as well as self-learning courses. We teach them artificial intelligence through multiple softwares, and we mainly focus on teaching the 5 big ideas on which artificial intelligence is fully evolving in the current scenario. I would like to show a demo of one of the simple projects that we teach to the age 7 plus kids. Just a minute, I'll share my screen. Hope my screen is visible.
Yes.
Yeah, thank you. So this is a maze game.
Yes, ma'am.
We all would have played this game using the arrow keys on the computer. But just imagine about playing this game using one of your facial feature, how nice it would be. So this is a current scenario where augmented reality is coming into picture. And with Corona happening all over the world, we cannot literally step out of our house. So what we need to do is we are stuck at home. So we have this AR games that we buy for our kids so that they can at least do some physical movement and engage themselves at home. So we in AISI have built a program using our proprietary software called Scratch for AIWS, and where you're going to control this butterfly on the screen with your mouse. So I'll just show you how it works. You can see 3 hearts on top. So those are the 3 lives. So you basically have 3 lives, and you can see an exit at the bottom. So once you reach the exit, you are going to win the game. If your life becomes 0, then obviously the game ends. So as you see, I'm making it touch the maze. So the lives were reducing, and when all the lives have become 0, the game has ended. Now I'll show how to win the game. Okay, it says you won. So I think kids will be far better in playing games than us. So this was a program created using our proprietary software, and we had used the face mesh with Scratch extension. So this is the extension that we have used in this program. So like this, we have used multiple softwares and multiple programs to teach artificial intelligence to kids. So this way they'll be super excited to know what is artificial intelligence. They'll learn the basics of programming. You can see on the screen, you have many conditions, looping statements, everything. So this is a simple program that we teach to a kid of age 7 plus. And we have many more programs taught through various platforms. So I'll be sharing some of the programs in the next session. Hope you all enjoyed the session, and any doubts you can just ask me.